Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am walking the Glyndwr Way, or more specifically day one of the Glyndwr Way. So I started off in the town of Knighton. In 15 miles, or 14 miles now probably, we should arrive in the village of Felindre, which is where I left my car. So that'll be the day's trek. It should take about 8 hours, possibly, maybe longer with filming. But I've got supplies with me. Let's get going. Currently we're passing around Garth Hill, where there's a tower on the top, and then we'll head over in about 5.5, 6 miles. We'll be reaching the village of LLangynllo. Horses come up here sometimes, and the path is very muddy due to all the rain that we've had. I'm hoping it's just like this in the woods, otherwise I'm going to get quite muddy. So with me for today, I wanted it to be as simple as possible. I measured my pack weight. That's just over 11 kilos, which I was aiming for between 10 and 12, so that's good. And then we've got a ration pack, a self-eating ration pack for food, because I imagine I will be getting hungry along the 8-hour hike. And there's a variety of waterproofs and things like that if I want to make a cup of tea. I've got everything I need for all that. But for now I've had to shed a layer because the climb out of Knighton was quite steep. It was quite hot. And of course I've packed for rain, and I'm sure we'll have some, but at the minute it's a beautiful morning here on the border. It's a lovely little gradual climb through the wood. The first bit through the town is nice. Little sort of back ways, secluded ways that just sort of tuck in and out. Gets you out of the town fairly quickly actually. There is a road down there by the sounds of things, but if it's anything like the road on the way in, it's not a very busy one. Just a few things to mention with what I've done today. So there isn't really, for how I'm doing it, I've left my car at the end of today's stage, and I've got a lift from my brother. Thank you Emrys, very kind of you. Early on a Saturday morning, we left my place this morning at 6 o'clock. Just to get here early, and it was lucky we did actually, because the road, part of the road was closed. It's a bit of a ropey journey actually, but my little car made it, so that's at the end now, and my brother's giving me a lift the rest of the way to the start point, so that was good of him. So if you're thinking about doing the day trip, you have got to organise. If there's two of you doing it, it's fine, because one can put their car at the end, one can put their car at the beginning. But parking in Felindre is very limited. So you could chance it, or you could do what I did and ring up ahead. I rang the wrong number, it was out of date, but the lady knew enough about what was going on to tell me that the town hall is currently closed. And there's a little car park there for about 15 cars could fit there. So that's what I've done. There's a little box to hand in a little parking donation. So we've done that this morning as well. If you have a lot of time off and you can manage it and you have the will to do it, you can do the whole Glyndwr Way in 9 days. So doing day one of 15 mile jaunts all the way along the way. So you can do all them, and you'll eventually end up in Welsh if everything goes to plan. It's quite difficult to sort out accommodation, so you probably want to do that before sorting out the time to do the walk, just to make sure it all meshes up. Felindre's got a couple of places you could camp, And as I talk about the other places, as we visit them later on in the series, because there's going to be a series, I'll talk about the other ones, but the Brandy House Farm, or I'll tell you when I get to Felindre anyway what it's called, because you actually walk past the house. But this stage goes from that clock tower all the way to the Wharf Inn in Felindre. I'm rambling on a bit, it's all a bit disjointed. I'll see if I can fix this in the edit. But once you get to Welshpool, if you've parked up in Knighton, you can get a connecting train, so that's 2 trains, to one from Welshpool to Shrewsbury and then Shrewsbury to Knighton. That's an option. Or you can add another 2 days onto the trip and follow part of the Offers Dyke path, which will bring you after 2 days all the way back to the beginning of the Glyndwr Way. And there's a Offers Dyke centre in Knighton as well if you wanted to check it out. I will probably be doing that as part of the Offers Dyke walk, which may be some time off yet. Hills. The weather's given it very changeable today. Oh, we're joining a road now. Yeah, the weather's given it very changeable. And what with us being in the mountains as well, I'm expecting lots of wind and rain from time to time. Hopefully some sunny spells too. Like I said, it's very well signposted. So far I haven't even had to check my map. I've just turned the page just to keep up to date. But yeah, I may have to stop and don my waterproofs, rather shoppish. But at the minute it's too hot. It's not really raining yet, so I'm just going to keep going. Well, as you can see, I was optimistic. The weather has rolled in. It's going to be like this today. But luckily I got my new waterproof jacket, which I haven't had to use until now. I took it biking, I took it camping, and we were good with the weather. So, it's alright though, this is a good test for it. Got my hydration bladder in my backpack, that's got 2 litres in it. I'm carrying another 2 litres for any sort of cooking or making a bit of tea if I get cold, although honestly, I'll only get cold if I stop. And right now, whilst I was in my bag, I dug out part of my Ration X ration pack that I've got. I dug out these ration hard-boiled sweets, and just so that they're handy and I'm beginning to get hungry, we've got in this pocket a cereal bar, cookies and cream. That's not what I was expecting. That last hill, we've been climbing for ages. We were right down the bottom of that valley where I filmed that bit of river. Water has been a bit of a... There's only been a couple of bits that I've seen. Hello sheep. Buddy. There's only been a few bits that I've seen. So my suggestion would be, unless you're trying to go super light, bring some water with you. Like I said, I didn't know what the water situation was going to be like. I've bought my filter, but I have got 4 litres, well probably closer to 3 right now, litres of water with me. The sun's come out again now. Oh, I want the wind to keep up, that's refreshing. But yeah, I'll now that I can just find a little bit of shelter, I'll show you where we are on the map. So we came out of Knighton along the Glyndwr Way there. The thing, it's a bit blurry there, but that's Garth. So that's where we walked up through the woods, all the way up to here. That's where we got onto the road. Then we could have taken that road, but that was the wrong way. So we headed down this way, so around Garth Hill, down. Then we went up this quite a steep incline here, and we're just about to go off the page. In fact, I think we probably have gone off the page, just a little bit. I did see a big bird of prey fly off there, and since I've been walking, keep an eye on the skies along this walk, because you'll see a lot. You sort of sneak up on them walking. I've seen a big buzzard and a kite and whatever that was back there. But now, now the rain's come back. It's never far away, and I best put you away again. Well, there's some water. Don't really fancy a swim though. If you are using a filter, just be really careful where you get your water from. I'm not sure how good the filters are. They vary, I guess, and you don't want to be getting ill, especially if you're trying to do this in the 9 or 11 day run. That's the suspect pond down there, and that's where we've come from. Left of this line of trees, I can get a better view down that hedgerow, and we've come up here, and then the path actually comes this way, comes this way from here and up, and we carry on. This is the most indirect part of the day, I believe, because we're making for this village, the village of LLangynllo. Which I hope I'm saying right. I'm not familiar with this area at all. This is my first time coming here. But yeah, we're heading towards that village. So we're actually heading south now. The general route is supposed to meander pretty much northwest, but it meanders with the terrain, I suppose, much like a river. So if you're hoping to get somewhere, cover the miles and get somewhere quickly, as in a straight line, that's not happening. There'll be ups and there'll be downs, many, over the course of the journey. It's 600 and something meters elevation today, and 600 something descending. We ever so slightly go up more than we come down, but yeah, these 15 miles are going to be grueling. I don't even think I've done 5 yet. I think I might be on about the 3 marker, realistically, which is still a good chunk of it, but this village isn't halfway. If you remember, the sign said it was 6 miles. Sorry, I just realised the wind. The sign says it was 6 miles from Knighton. We're about halfway to that village now, I think, and the time is 9:30. I left Knighton, well, I set off at about 7:45, I think it was in the end. Rewind to the beginning of the video. But yeah, we are approaching the top of everything that I can see around me, so I'm expecting a downhill at any point. Fingers crossed! That's one big water butt. Welsh bears, because they go bare. It's horrid up here at the moment. It's very windy, very, very wet. I'm in a cloud, or I think I am. Oh, thank God. That way. Okay, so I got to my first real error. Well, not really an error, but we've come down, the rally school's up there, and we've come down here around this corner, and I was heading for up there, because that looks like it's the way, and it is a way, but it's not the way, because there's this sign marker here, sort of hidden underneath the tree, that directs you through the stream. So that'll be the correct way to go. I just checked my guidebook as well, the Cicerone guidebook. There's other guidebooks as well. I just got this one, and I've only had to look at it twice, but it is useful for when you're not sure. I couldn't tell here on the map whether or not it was going to be safe. Whether or not it was going to be okay. I would have gone the wrong way if I hadn't have checked, maybe. Well, there you go. Anyway, so we're going to cross the stream now. It's been raining here a bit, but I imagine in winter this is going to be very difficult to negotiate. So you're going to need to think about that if you're coming in the winter time. But right now it's quite easy to cross, and we're away. And just over there is our next sign marker to aim for. Yeah, that last bit was okay. It's just difficult not knowing the terrain. You're not always sure when you're in a field that you're on the path. So it's good to have a map or a compass or a phone app or whatever with you. I just bear in mind that along here the signal is a bit sketchy, so it's best not to rely on that. And we're back onto the road, coming into the village now of LLangynllo. If you leave Knighton at midday, you probably want to call it an evening when you get here, because it's a fair trek on its own. But I've still got plenty of daylight left. Oh, and it looks like we go back yonder into a lovely wooded area. Oh, it looks steep though. That last bit, we've just come down there, was a bit of a slog. It's made bringing these worthwhile already. So yeah, I was hoping not to use them until after the village, but my knee was starting to ache coming down there, and now we've reached the bottom, it seems to be fine. So they do work. Usually you'd be able to stop for refreshments at the Greyhound Inn. I'm guessing, judging by the painted up windows, that they're still closed, either due to the lockdown or just generally. I don't think you can stay over there either. If I'm right, just beyond this way, there'll be a railway line, and I might stop there depending on the weather. Of course, we could just stop there. Well, that's coming in, so I'm glad I didn't stop. This way. Turns out we go under the railway track. This is my first case of nature says no to doing the Glyndwr Way. I'll have to go under it. Slam. Right, over whatever this is. Bridge over nothing. And this way. That last bit was ropey in that field. I lost the path because of the landscape. Luckily I was able to pick it up again just as you came up over the hill. I'm going to look for somewhere just to sit here, I think. I know it's open to the elements. Touch wood, we've got a few minutes. I got my pasta on the go because I am famished. Unfortunately, I have no way of filming that because when I stop, I need to charge the phone, and it's just too wet to have the GoPro not in the case. So, yeah. We'll pick up after I've had a bit of a break, I guess. Hope you're enjoying the video! Bye bye lunch area! Woo! I needed that more than I thought. I had my pasta and meatballs. It was good. I had a nice atomic drink just sitting in my belly. And a heavy orange cake. So that's pretty much the the ration pack gone. I got a bit cold actually, so it's good to be moving again. I'm probably not going to bother with making a cup of tea or anything like that. It'll take too long with all this wind. Maybe if I get to a sheltered area in a couple of hours time, but I doubt it. Right, we best get moving again then, because I reckon I lost well over half an hour then, and it's 8 hours, and I've been going for 4, roughly, so we're about halfway I reckon. We'll see. This little grass track that I've been on since pretty much since eating, and it's still going. Crazy. Because the wind comes through the gaps, but from what I understand, when Britain was all cut back, because it used to be all trees obviously, when it was all cut back, they used to leave the trees that were alongside a throughway or what. Oh my god, that smells horrible. What is it? Yeah. They used to leave the trees at the side as for the sides of the roads, and I think, I might be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I think that's where all the hedgerows come from. It might not be, it might be that they're planted after the fact, I don't know, but yeah, interesting if true. I'm still climbing up this gravel road. It's by far the hardest thing that I've had to do so far today. Whether it's because I stopped for that break, or it's just the fact that it gives ever so slightly under your feet, I don't know. This stuff is murder to walk on. We're there on the map, I reckon. There's that wood. Short ditch, possibly. Beacon Hill. Looks like a nature reserve. But this is the way we're going. Onwards. Ever onwards. I'm not 100% sure where I am at the minute, but we're on to the last page on the map. It's a zoomed out one though, because I know the route is more or less straight, it meanders a little bit. But I think I'm on, it's very windy, I think I'm on Pool Hill, because of the pools. There's some beautiful colours. You've got the purple of the heather and the yellow of the gorse. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to go walking through it, but it's nice. There's not a lot else, to be honest, but that's enough for me. It's coming up on, well, if it was 7:45 that we left Knighton this morning, it's now 25 to 2, so I've almost done 6 hours with half an hour for lunch. But unless I'm very mistaken, and the wind just dropped here, we are coming to the end of the journey. It's hard to keep track of the mileage. I wanted to film the little tree, but there's the little sheep who's inquisitive. I guess there hasn't been many walkers to oh bye. I guess there hasn't been many walkers to contend with. Ooh. Tractor in the distance. First human life I've seen except for in villages. That's where we've just come. What a slog that was. Oh, last bit of uphill, I reckon, and then we're done. A couple of them are spinning. The smaller ones, it looks like. Feel free to ask me any questions about this leg of the journey as well. just post that in the comments below, and I'll try to answer it for you. I've skipped an awful lot. I've tried to, where possible, keep the length of the video down. I don't really want to make it 2 parts, but it was a long journey. It's taken a long time, so you'll forgive me if the video is a little long. Come down a bit, yeah, over there to the right of those trees. We come down here and just over this bridge here. I've got the poles out because my knees were killing me, and then that last downhill I couldn't take many steps before stopping, so good job I bought the poles. Horses! Oh, they're coming to say hello. Almost made it back. It's just this last downhill because my knackered knees. Brandy House Farm, where you can stay if you're walking the Glyndwr Way and you finish day 1, you can stay here. It's B&B. I think they've got campsites as well, camping area as well. Oh, I'm rather glad to be out of all that. Every time I thought we'd be every time I thought we'd be coming round the next corner, we'd be coming down a hill to this farm. No. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I think in future I'm going to have to do shorter stints. 15 miles is too much for me currently. My knee is ruined, so we've got a little bit further to go, and then I'm going to enjoy what's left of the weekend. It has taken me exactly for 8.5 hours. The guidebook says it takes 8 hours, and I stopped for half an hour for food, so it's bang on. The guidebook also said that this was a moderately difficult route. Bleeding hard. It's just so hilly. Well, got a little bit further to go. I've got to make it to the Wharf Inn because that is the end of this leg, or this day 1 of the Glyndwr Way. So thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, because that'd be great. I want to do a giveaway, but I want to reach 300 subs first, and I'm on 268 I think, well, as of recording of this. So but that's another thing for another time. Thanks once again, take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!